the media is going all crazy about the latest August jobs report, but let me tell you, they're lying, and I can show you how. So, opening up the BLS report, we can see that here it shows the unemployed persons by duration of unemployment. And from July 2020 to August 2020, the biggest drop were the people that were unemployed less than 5 weeks. But for people who've been unemployed for 15 weeks and over, it's actually grown. So we're getting a lot of people who've lost their jobs 4 months ago, and they still don't have their jobs back. So the only people getting their jobs back are people who may have recently been unemployed for a week or two, and now they're back. The second thing that they're lying about here is, though the overall unemployment rate that's being reported right now is 8.5%, and service occupations is 13.4, which we would expect that with the illness going around, that they're the ones that are going to lose their jobs. But what about production, transportation, and material moving? The unemployment rate in that sector is still 11.1%. Production occupations as a subgroup is 9.7. Transportation and material moving as a subgroup is 12.1. So we've got double-digit inflation in some of our most productive occupations. They're not telling you that. Where are we not having unemployment rate? We got it in management, business, financial operations, and management positions. These are the ones that have the best unemployment rates, or the lowest unemployment rates. So we're losing jobs. We're continuing to lose jobs in production and manufacturing, and they're not telling us this. They're not telling us this, that our economy is getting sicker and weaker and less productive. Here's the employed persons by class of worker. And when you drop down to the category of non-agricultural industries, you can see how many people were employed in these industries. And so I put a little spreadsheet together because I kind of wanted to see where the job growth was coming from. And as you can see, in August of 2019, there were 20.3 million people employed in government, 126 million people employed in the private sector, and this is of all non-agricultural jobs. So the ratio was 6.2. What that means is for every 6.2 people employed in the private sector, in the non-agricultural industries, there was one government worker. And by last month, it was 5.8 to 1. In this month, they're reporting it as 5.7 to 1. So let's really look at the job gains from July to August. In the government, we added 826,000 jobs. In the private sector, there was 1.7 million jobs added. So that ratio comes out to 2. That means for every 2 private sector jobs, we've had 1 government job created. So for every 3 jobs that were created, 1 was in government. This is not the sign of a healthy economy. I mean, they're lying to us. If they want us to believe that government getting bigger is making this job economy great, I mean, they got to be kidding us, right? I mean, this is silly. You know, what's worse is the fact that it's the private sector that has to pay for the government workers, right? You have to take taxes out of the private sector in order to pay for the government. So the more government jobs we create, the sicker that we're getting. We either have to tax the private sector or we have to print the money. Either way, it's going to be disastrous for us. So they can't go out and claim that, oh, all this jobs are being created and our unemployment rate is going down. Therefore, things are great. No, the reality is the government's getting bigger. Our economy is getting sicker. Unemployment rate in the production and manufacturing industries are still over double digits. Nothing about this looks good.